Hey guys, this is Ed, Paul, and Anna of Current Brand Media, and we are here to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor.
Sportsball is a great subscription service geared towards minor league baseball fans. Each box features a different minor league team.
You get a box every 3 months with minor league baseball gear, including different styles of hats like Ed's favorite, the dad hat. The cost is less than $12 a month.
Proceeds from each box goes to More Than Baseball, the only nonprofit dedicated to the well-being of minor league baseball players.
We all know that Parents' Days are coming up this summer, so if you've got a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa who are particularly difficult to buy for, but you know they're baseball fans, this is the answer, guys.
Meet your new favorite team at sportsballbox.com.
Is there anybody there? This, I don't know if there's any way to like put your imagination to this, but this is the backside of the uniform that's the inside that's covered up.
Yeah.
But this is actually Santa over a wash basin washing clothes. Can you see that at all?
What's up, Dad Hat Crew? Ed here. And on this episode, I give you guys the conclusion of my conversation with John Lorkey, the GM of the Alaska Gold Panthers. Listen, he goes from not working for the team, just being a host family, to going to become a president, and then goes and becomes the GM. I'm telling you, it's a funny story, so you gotta hear it from him. And then we talked about a little bit more about the Midnight Sun game and who his opponent is going to be, some of the teams, and some special guests that are going to be visiting the Alaska team this summer. So, guys, without further ado, I'll give you the episode. Okay, so tell me, your and I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile here, but it says you became the general manager of the Gold Panthers 2016.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was working at the car dealership and knew real well the guys that were overseeing the Gold Panthers. But there's some really important people in the organizations, especially the president, that passed away in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very difficult to keep things going to a certain level. The gentleman I talked about before, Don Dennis, had relocated, was in the midst of relocating to Southern California, just getting older, turning things over to his son. And he kind of burned himself out over the years. And it was just, it had gone downhill. And they asked me if I would take over the presidency late in 2015. And I said, I've been thinking about it because, people would approach me at the ballpark and say, this could be better. Larky, why don't you jump in and help? You've got baseball in you. You know how this stuff kind of works. It's like, I'm a car sales manager in a car dealership. I'm not working 34 hours a week. Those are some long hours. And I'm housing players, but I'm not really involved a lot beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did want to take over the board and think I could put my stamp on it that way. And March 1st of 16, and within 30 days, the general manager stepped down.
No.
And hindsight tells me that, if we can get Larky back into this on a daily basis, whether that's what he wanted to do or not, he's just crazy enough and got enough baseball in him. He probably won't let it die. He'll probably, go nuts. And that's what I did. I worked at I did both, worked at the dealership for another year and a half, and at the end of 17 left the dealership and am doing this now full time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're doing what you love.
Me up here and I'm loving it. I turned 60 6 years ago. So it's like, shoot, it's not all about, it's do what you love doing. And I enjoyed the car business for a long time, but that's kind of a younger man's business,
Yeah.
To a certain degree. And I figured, let me get back to baseball here. Let me enjoy that again.
That's amazing
how it
because
happened. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, now you're playing, you're managing one of the most iconic, brands out there. I mean, everybody, when they think of Alaska Baseball League, right? You got the Oilers, you got the Pilots, and then obviously the Gold Panthers part. Like, yeah, everybody will tell you, when they say Alaska Baseball League, goal panners. That's
We
the
hope
first
so.
thing.
Yeah, we hope they still think of it that way. And since we were the first, we maintain that. We don't take a criticism at all,
Mhm.
or are upset about it if someone calls us the Fairbanks gold panners. But we've always maintained Alaska because
Mhm.
we're the first and we started it. So we've always uh, gone by Alaska gold panners. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so Liz, when does the season start for the Alaska Baseball League?
It starts in the first week of June. Our home opener is June 8th.
Mm-hmm.
This year, a lot of times I'll open up in Seattle and or open up, at one of the clubs in the lower, part of the state and kind of come up. And I like to kind of start on the road and guys get to know each other
Mm-hmm.
before they get into their summer families and that. But we're going to start at home this year on June 8th against a team from San Diego.
Nice. I like that. You should definitely look at it. If you ever go back down to Seattle, the fish sticks are there. That'll be a pretty cool one. Gold panners and fish sticks. That'll be a pretty cool one to see.
Yeah, I got a couple teams from the Carolina area coming up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Catawba Valley.
yeah.
He's coming up, and there's a guy, Joe Hudak, that runs kind of a Christian-based team, Kingsman
That's
Baseball. He was up here 2 summers ago, so he's coming back. So yeah, I've got two guys bringing up clubs, playing us anywhere from 4 to 5 games from back there this year.
That's amazing. I love that you're guiding teams from all over the U.S. all the way out here in the Carolinas. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, the phone rings, and we look at that. I don't know if we'll be back in the Alaska League next year, but this year we'll be independent again, and we've got teams coming up from there, and we've got a team coming up from Michigan. The Michigan Monarchs are going to be up here. They used to be the Lake Erie Monarchs.
Yeah.
They're going to be coming up. We got another couple teams from California too coming up. So got about 7 teams now. They're from Seattle, so should be a fun summer. About a
Yeah, you
little
got
over 30 home games.
Yeah, you got the Seattle Blackfins, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I just, it's been a long time. I go way back with this stuff. I don't know if you're old enough to remember the San Diego Chicken that used
Yes.
to that do things. Well, he wasn't. We bring him up from time to time, and he hasn't been here since 2009. He's not doing it anymore. So I just sort of got done with this last season and started thinking. I don't know if you see it on our schedule there, but who's the best? Who's the best mascot in baseball? Maybe even in sports. There's a lot of mascots out there, but who just kind of steps out on the field and is funny the way the Chicken used to be, and that's the Philly Fanatic.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
He's coming up, man. Yeah, July 7th. Yeah, if you can't make the solstice game on June 21, you got to be here July 7th.
That's amazing. Look at that.
Yeah, he said, "Can you get me a 4-wheeler?" I said, "Absolutely, we'll get you a 4-wheeler."
We got a few of
those around town, so that'll be a really fun night.
Yeah, I think we have 1 or 2 or later.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah. Well, there's a guy on the board who's a big Phillies fan, and he went crazy. He said it would be an honor for me to let the Fanatic use my 4-wheeler that night. So we got that handled. And then after that, because the All-Star game, it just sort of helps out. The All-Star game is in Seattle, and he's got some stuff to do there in Seattle. So the Fanatic's going to leave here that weekend and then get down to Seattle for the All-Star game on that Tuesday.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I just said, well, let me try. How is he going to give him a call? So
listen, and that's exactly how I run this podcast. I'm like, I'm just gonna start sending emails and calling people and see who can make it on the podcast. That's how it goes.
Yeah. No, that's I don't know how else you would do it. That's exactly what you do. Yeah.
I literally the websites, Twitter, and all of this. I look everywhere, and I'm like, listen, I got to find a way to get people.
How did we come up? What made you think of us?
So
I get to get a couple questions in.
Yeah, absolutely. So last year I bought the first gold panners hat. That because I started with our future fellow friends that we have. They have a website called baseballmapper.com, right? So I'm daydreaming every day, looking at the map. It's like, oh man, I want to go here. I want to go check it out. I'm like, you know
Oh,
what? Let
like
me.
if you were putting together a whole string of games to,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I did a whole bunch of them, right? But then I was like, all right, let me look at Alaska. I've never been there. I've always wanted to go at Alaska, so let me see, right? And I saw this bit on ESPN about this. There's this race where people just run up a hill. I can't remember where it is, but like, and then they come right
It's
back down.
down in Seward, the Marathon Man.
Yeah,
It's
right.
dangerous, man. They get coming down that hill so fast. It's crazy.
Right. Exactly. So I'm like, oh, I can do that. I'm like, I can't. I'm 41. I'm done. I will probably just roll all the way down. So, but then
I can get to the bottom somehow.
one way or another, we're getting down there, right? But I saw the gold pandas. I'm like, oh my God. And then I remember, I'm like, wait, hold on a second. That's Midnight Sun game, right? So I came and that's where my interest peaked. And I'm like, man, I gotta get them. And then things happened. I got away from it. My friend Dirk, she was helping with Japan baseball,
Oh yeah.
right? So they were gonna go up there. So I was gonna be
Japan
part of
baseball.
it.
Yeah, they got their share of tickets. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was gonna go up.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
okay.
I couldn't make it. So I was so pumped. My wife and I, we wanted to go, but it's just, things
Yeah.
got in the way, life and all that. But yeah, that's how I got there. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm not going to make it there, at the very least, I want to see if I can get somebody from the team to come on the podcast.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's how it
Yeah.
happened.
I think it would even be more widely known if the game wasn't played when it's 2 a.m. back east.
Yeah.
I know it would be something that ESPN would, maybe not all the time, but I think they would carry it live occasionally.
Mhm.
If it was something that was much better than, it doesn't have to be 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. back east, but 2 a.m. and we've all, I'm old enough to remember when a lot of stuff on ESPN was like replays and reruns and stuff, but it's something that's just not done a whole lot. People aren't going to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't think, yeah. If they kind of if they're interested in it, they're already going to know about the game and stuff. They're probably not going to watch it as a rerun. I wouldn't think. So I think, yeah.
So let me ask you this: Are you guys going to be putting the game on, like, at the very least, on YouTube or something like that?
Oh yeah. All our
live.
games are.
Okay.
All our games are. Yeah.
All right. At the very least, there's that, and I will do my part. I promise you that that I will do my part to promote it at the very least over here on the East Coast, so that way people can be, tuning into that. So even if it's 2 a.m., I mean, what are we gonna do? Sleep?
Cool.
Who needs sleep?
Yeah, especially in the summer. We'll do that in the winter. Go
exactly.
hibernate.
During the winter, we can sleep. Baseball season started. So that's gonna be happening June 21st, 10 p.m. Pacific time, and obviously 2 a.m. for us here.
Yeah, well, 11 Pacific. Yeah.
11. Yeah.
Actually 10 here. Yeah.
Yep. So it'll start everything going.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see that. So who are you guys playing this year?
The team from Michigan, the Monarchs, are going to be the Midnight Sun game team this year. That's a 5-game series, and that's I think the second game that the series that we play will be the 21st.
Look at that! Look at that! Kingston baseball. You got San Diego Waves. Then you also have Catawba Valley Stars, California Halos, the Michigan Monarchs. There you go. Seattle Blackfins, and then San Francisco Seals.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of team is that? That's Collegiate Woodbed as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they all are. That's
nice.
Yeah, Abel Alcantara. He's been running that team organization for a long time, and he's not up here every summer, but at least about every 3 years he's on our schedule and likes to come up, and there's always some good competition.
That's amazing. I love that. I think that's amazing. Okay, so we're almost my famous not so famous questions here, but I want to talk a little bit about merchandise. Obviously you have your own store there. And what's the story behind the Gold Star and the 49?
That goes before me. So I know they wanted to showcase Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And the 49th state,
yeah,
and the star, and I think it has to do with I think it's just a whole lot of, some really good planning because the flag of Alaska has, the stars of the Dipper on it. So
Yep.
I think it all ties together with that 49th
Beautiful.
state, then the Dipper and the star. And it's just such a unique hat. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah.
such a unique hat, and it's a logo we'll never stray from. We have other little variations off it, but
Yeah.
but no, we won't. It's too good.
It's too good to say you're gonna get away from it. I absolutely think it's a beautiful logo. I own one of the hats with the old man who's using the gold pan as the glove, which is amazing. I think it's such a cool hat.
Yeah, we
Uh,
came up with that. We hired a guy from Canada about 3 years ago, and just he's an artist and he's done a few teams, and we just said, we need to upgrade our character here, our cartoon type looking character, which really wasn't a cartoon type character at all. It was just a man, leaning over with a gold pan in his hand. But what can we do with this and turn it into a guy that's has a gold pan or kind of a look about him, like an old sourdough, and but make it baseball. So we thought about him fielding. Well, he's not going to use a mitt. He's going to use a
Yeah,
gold pan. So
of
we worked
course.
on it a lot. We worked on the glove part and it's like that's not. We just kept going back and forth. I think the guy was starting to get a little tired of us, but this is too important to be right. It doesn't look like a glove type thing. It looks like a disc, like a platter or something you'd take back and turn in for cash at Vegas.
Yeah.
Just didn't look right. So anyway, I think it came out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and man, that's so cool. That is such a cool logo, and obviously the 49 and the star is iconic, right? Like, I mean, you're not gonna change that. That's gonna be there. But like the fact that you have an alternate look, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and then
Trying to get
obviously,
into the modern age. Yeah.
yeah, no, and then in the back, Alaska Gold Panners. That's awesome. I love it. I think that's great. The now you guys for the most part sell. Is it mostly hats that you guys are selling?
Yeah, we'll do a few sweatshirts. We'll do some hoodies. We'll do, a lot of t-shirts
Mhm.
and that.
Look at those. Those are cool.
Yeah, we get into different things, a lot of different type hats, a lot of different colors, especially for the ladies, some of those
Mhm.
other colors. And so a lot of things, players like to do. We do a little bit. We'll sell some of the sleeves that the players wear too. So we'll do a variety of things, but we've got the uniforms that we have now. I don't know if you've seen the one that we came up with uh, for the Midnight Sun game this last year, but
Mhm.
it's a black jersey. I can grab it really quick if you
Yeah,
want.
absolutely. Yeah, let's see it.
If I have it, I got it.
Yeah, right. If it's available.
Yeah. Oh, I got an old green North Pole Knicks one here too.
No way. Oh, I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking here on the team store. I see the 22 Alaska Midnight Sun game. Man, look at that.
So
That's
that's the back.
yeah. Look at that black jersey with the red number with the gold around it. Look at that with the Alaska with the A's with the peaks on it.
Right.
That is beautiful, and it's not a full jersey that buttons down. It's just right at the one
Couple
button at the
buttons.
top. Yeah, that's it.
And then we came up with this. The lady that does this for us is so artistic and so gifted.
Look
I
at
don't know if
that.
you can see that.
Yeah, I see the logo of the Midnight Sun game. Yeah,
Right.
that's cool.
Yeah. So we got that. And then this, I just happen to have it in my closet. This is a top that we got, and it had at the time. At the time,
Wow.
it had we just wore this with the gray pants, but it had you wouldn't believe this, but the lady that paid for the uniforms owned a laundromat. So this is actually, you can't see it, but
The baseball on it with the name of the
well, they
laundromat?
covered it up. No, they got covered up. But this side, I don't know if there's any way to like put your imagination to this, but this is the back side of the uniform that's the inside that's covered up.
Yeah.
But this is actually Santa over a wash basin washing clothes. Can you see that at all?
Yeah, I can see the Santa, and then he's sitting like he's straddling the
Right. Straddling the wash basin, washing clothes. That was on the front of the uniform because she paid for them. But then when I stopped doing this in '87, and the
Yeah.
Gold Panners kept the team alive to have another team here for '88 and '89. They covered that up and just put Knicks on it.
Oh man, they should have kept the Santa with this.
I know. How unique. Nobody's got that, right? So anyway,
That is a beautiful jersey.
yeah, that one's a little different. I still like the gray ones.
You know what? Like, I think you should guys, should do like one of those like alternate nights, and then come out as the North Pole Knicks. That should be cool.
Oh, geez, yeah, that would be something else. Yeah,
Right? That's what it's all about, merchandising.
I
There
should
you
probably
go.
bring back those green hats with the NP. We'd probably sell those in the concessions in the souvenir booth. They would sell.
Oh, I would so buy one. You do not understand? Like, I got a couple of friends over here that would definitely pay some good money to get a North Pole hat. Trust me. That's like one of those most unique hats. Like, you wish, like, it's like, we call it the unicorn, right? Because it's very rare that you're gonna see one around. That'll be one of those for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because that'll be so cool. That MP is beautiful too. When I was looking
Yeah,
at
it was well done. Yeah, it was well written. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Anything that I have not asked you, John? Anything that you like to say about the team before I go into the fun part of the interview? Which, by the way, I've been having a blast so far. So,
No, everything's been fine. Your show, whatever you want to do. I'm enjoying talking to you.
all right, perfect. Okay, so the first question I ask everybody is, when you go to a ball game as a fan, we all get something to drink, we all get something to eat. So, what is your food and drink of choice?
I gotta have a hot dog.
Absolutely.
I gotta have a hot dog in it, but it's probably going to be a little more advanced. It's going to be a kielbasa. It's probably going to have some mustard and some sauerkraut on it and stuff. Yeah, you got to go that way. I'm just amazed not enough people that don't like sauerkraut very much probably aren't. I mean, it's like you go to the ball game.
so
I mean,
good.
that's good stuff. So I like that. I like beer, but I don't want it to fill me up where I can't have my second kielbasa. But I'll amaze myself how far I can get through a bag of peanuts, no matter how many of them there are. I can't stop.
Yeah.
So peanuts, any kind of cold drink. I like any kind of cold drink.
I like it.
Kielbasa. Love a cheeseburger too, but at the ballpark, it just seems like it's the hot dog is the way to go.
It is.
And I can't. I mean, when we're at home, I can't stay away from our concession stand. I just can't do it. I say
You walk by and swipe a hot dog.
Yeah, my Apple Watch wants me to take so many steps around the ballpark and get my butt moving and stuff, but I think I think I balance that off pretty good with a pretty good series of things to eat.
What happened to the? I don't know what happened. It was there 1 minute and then the next is gone.
Yeah, I've done. I think this last year's Midnight Sun game, I did 16,000 steps.
Oh wow! Just walking around.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was. I was all over the place. It was so much fun.
I love
People were having a ball. At some point in the evening, we tell people, you're probably not going to be able to have a seat at this point, and they say, "I don't care."
Yeah,
that's fine. Is the beer garden open?
All right, let's go.
Yeah, no, I'll be able to see the game. They're standing up, talking with their buddies and stuff, and oh yeah, last year was off the charts for the amount of people stuffed into the stadium. It was a blast.
I love to.
And nobody complained. Nobody complained. It was.
Why
great.
would you complain? You're outdoors. You're watching baseball. You're hanging out with your friends. I mean, what else do you want?
Exactly.
You're not looking at your phone, so
that's my point of view. Yeah. Do not disturb.
Exactly. All right. So, what has been the weirdest thing that you have eaten before?
That I have eaten?
Yep.
Oh, geez. I know there's some things there's not a lot that I don't like. If it was that weird, I probably wouldn't have touched it, but I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think. I don't touch eggplant anymore. My Italian mom used to make that.
It's like you've had enough in your life.
Tried to disguise it too and load it up with cheese and Parmesan cheese and stuff, but it was still eggplant. I couldn't deal with it. But I like just about any kind of fish. I like,
I mean, you got some great fish up there in Alaska. So can't go wrong with that.
It just feels weird when you leave Alaska and you order fish. It's like, this just don't feel right. It can't be as good up here. But No, I like just about anything really. I'd
Lo-
probably didn't do a great job on that
No,
question, but
that's fine. No, no,
didn't come
no
up with
problem at
some
all.
crazy order or something that I got.
If you were to live somewhere else that's not Alaska, where would it be?
Well, my wife and I are thinking about it right now, and we were actually in Port Charlotte as a hurricane was approaching last September,
Hmm.
and went there the year before. We're just thinking about relocating. I can probably look at doing this a little bit seasonal.
Hmm.
Uh, she was born and raised here, but she's just tired of being cold. I
I
mean, simply put, she's tired of being cold.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was tired of being cold in Ohio, and that's not even close to what you guys have. So I was like, I was out.
Yeah, and the last 2 years, it just won't. There's still a ton of snow on the ground. It won't leave. We're talking, the middle of April now, and it's just we're not even. I think we may have hit 35 today, but we should be getting, low 40s every day. But we've had a bunch of days we just hadn't gotten that cold. But yeah, we were there in 3 days in Port Charlotte and knew we were about a day and a half from the hurricane hitting and took off to Fort Lauderdale and had to fly back. But we really like that area. My brother spent some time in Florida as well, and know that the summers get pretty hot there. But
Yeah,
no, we like to be around some water and something that little bit warmer. That's probably a lot warmer, but
I'm
yeah,
okay with it. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, right? So like I love hot weather.
yeah,
I love the hot weather, so I'm okay with
yeah.
anything
Yeah, my
hot.
wife does too. We like it, and it doesn't bother us to sweat and a little bit.
It's
So,
okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
yep.
All right, so here we go. Um, if what would be the one thing that would be hard for you to give up?
It'd probably be baseball.
This ain't that the truth.
Yeah, it's always going to have my imagination. I probably shouldn't have had the Giants on where I could see them in the last hour as that game was finishing, and they messed up again. But I gotta follow that team. It's just it's just amazing that we would move. I mean, my dad got married in '48 and plays out his minor league thing, and we're back in California where he's growing up, but that we would have made our way to Northern California, which is where the Giants are,
Hmm.
instead of being near the arch rivals. I couldn't possibly anything that would force me to root for the Dodgers would probably be another thing I couldn't possibly I could give up. But that's what's great about sports, the rivalries. That's a great rivalry, and I'm now. I like the way they've changed the schedule around a little bit this year. I think they may have gone to kind of the other extreme because
Mhm.
Giants just played the Dodgers 3 times at home, and they're not coming back to San
Yeah.
Francisco until the final homestand. So
Mhm.
how you get? Can they opened up in Yankee Stadium, which is cool. They haven't been back there in I don't know how long.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I do like that, that they get to play other teams in the league. I'm a fan of that. But yeah, I can see that's like, all right, like, these rivalries that you want to keep going,
yeah,
those should take a little bit more priority and then going on
yeah.
from there.
Everything's all the changes are about the fans. It's a game that you either like. I don't know how many fans are going to attract because they speed it up. We'll see. I don't see why you had to expand the bases. I don't get that at all. The only throw over twice is kind of awkward, but they're trying to get the running game back in.
Mhm.
The pitch clock and the no two infielders on one more than two infielders on one side of the bag. I like a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes. Never have liked the DH. I'm too much of a purist.
You're a national leaguer on that side.
Well, I'm a strategic person.
Yeah.
I'm a very analytical guy when I'm watching the game, and you take away all the strategy that involves pitching changes and making two changes, and I'm going to try to get another out from this guy. He hits second next inning. Well, do I see if I can get another out from him, or do I get him out of there right now and make two switches, and now the guy comes in, now he'll hit second next inning instead of the pitcher. All that's gone.
Mhm.
A
Yeah.
manager only has to think, is this guy going to pitch better than this guy? He doesn't have to think about anything else. I think it ruins a lot of the strategy of baseball. So I've
Well,
never.
and now
You
that
get another what 2/10 of a run a game. You know, it's
yeah,
like
and then the pitcher has to face a minimum of 3,
yeah,
batter. So it's
yeah,
like, I get that. I can see that.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, I have my gripes against Major League Baseball. Um, but some of these changes, I'm not gonna, harp them on just because I can understand,
See why they're doing them.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You can see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a rhyme and reason for that, so I can understand that part. Okay. So, speaking of that, one a little, tangent here is does do you play with some of those rules there with the gold panners?
We haven't.
Okay.
We pretty much play in American League rules, but
Hmm.
things are, kind of short notice on the bases. I don't know that I would want to expand the bases anyway.
Hmm.
Um, but we will. This summer we won't, and I would imagine there'll be some discussion um, going forward if we're going to do it. But we won't be playing with a pitch count. You rarely get more than 2 infielders on one side of the bag at this level.
Hmm.
Um, there isn't enough, guys. There's enough familiarity, I think, with the opposing player to do that, and most guys don't. They're not pulling the ball that much. It's typically a left-hander thing.
Okay.
Um, so we'll see that we won't have like I said, won't have a pitch clock and that. But I do like some of the changes, though.
Okay. Perfect.
We'll
All
just
right.
tell the umpire to get these guys moving.
Let's go. I
Yeah,
need you to call a couple of strikes here and there so we can get
yeah,
out of
but
here,
not
guys.
but not too fast. I haven't sold my quota yet in the beer garden. So
Slow it down. Slow it
yeah,
down.
fake an injury. Go out to the mound or something. I hear it's hurting some revenue, and I heard some stadiums have already increased or lengthened the time at which they'll allow beer to be sold and gone into the 8th inning now instead of the 7th. So
Mhm.
I don't know what that is. If you've heard that too.
So, and that was one of discussions that I was having with some friends is that, okay, we're shortening the game, and some minor league, people that work in minor league baseball, they're saying it's like, listen, during the week, we're okay with that because not a lot of people are showing up in the middle of the week to the games.
Yeah,
So the quicker you get in, the quicker you get out, it's fine. We're good with that part, right? We're cutting costs there. Where they're going to start hurting is those weekend games, like those Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, right? That's where they're going to see a little bit of a hard hit when it comes to revenue.
yeah, yeah. And I don't see why it couldn't just be left to the person selling it to say this guy's had enough.
Hmm.
There's some guys,
Right.
why do you cut it off? I only had one. I didn't know you were gonna. So yeah, I mean, but they make those announcements. Hey, this will be cut off last time.
Yep.
That kind of spurs sales too. So
Exactly. So, all right. So here we go. If you could travel anywhere on Earth, where would it be?
I'd want to go back to Europe.
Yeah.
Not back to Europe. I've never been to Europe, and a lot
Mhm.
of that is just because the history there. And then some of it is certainly because of my dad's experiences in World War II. So I'd love to get to France and Rome and Italy and Portugal and that kind of stuff. So
I love it.
I would enjoy that.
You know what? I think that'll be all I'm saying. I've never been. I've been to South Africa. That's as far as I've gone. But I would love to go to Spain. Love to travel all over the world. I think that'll be something cool to do.
Yeah, we love to travel. My wife and I love to travel, but yeah, that would be. We've talked about that one too, and she's all aboard.
There you go. All right, a couple more here, my friend. If you could have a superpower, what superpower would it be?
Well, this could be an age question more than anything. It'd probably be my memory.
Get my memory back, right?
Yeah, you got to stop checking the date of birth next time you do these interviews. Uh, but I mean, just from a learning standpoint,
Mhm.
I it's there's so many great things out there. I love to read, and there's so much stuff out there. I wish I just could, especially all the advice I should have learned in the investment stuff.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff over the years. So
Yeah, true. All right, last question for me, my friend. If you could invite 3 people to dinner, living or dead, who would you invite?
Oh man, living or dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably Willie Mays,
Oof.
Abe Lincoln. Mm, George Patton.
Very interesting. War, politics, baseball.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, the poli sci side of, yeah, I mean, it's just great. I mean, a lot of discrimination and racial tension comes out nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
and what I've learned about history, tough, to think at that time you're trying to hold the country together, knowing that you've got to solve this slavery matter. It's going to rip things apart, but if we're going to move forward, we better
Mm-hmm.
get this right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. And I've learned a lot about how much John Adams and Jefferson tangled with it. When they wrote the whole thing, the Constitution, and they kicked it down the road, and they said we'll never be able to put the country together and pull this whole thing off and get this country off the ground
Mm-hmm.
if we try to solve this slavery issue. They knew it right when the country started, and they said it's just too contentious. We won't get this country off the ground if we try to deal with this now. So they knew
And,
it.
and then just I like
Yeah,
and yeah,
not many years
interesting.
before. I wouldn't say it was a failure of theirs. It was more of a foresight to say we got to walk before we can run. Yeah,
We even crawl right
yeah,
at this point.
yeah, for
Exactly.
sure,
Got to start with
for
baby
sure,
steps here.
for sure. When
Uh,
did you get here from Puerto Rico? When did you come over?
so I moved from Puerto Rico to Ohio when I was 12.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean I'm from Puerto Rico, but I'm also from Cleveland, right? Like I mean I grew up in Cleveland since I was there since I was 12 until about a year and a half ago, and I've been in North Carolina now ever since then.
Cavaliers fan.
I am a Cavaliers fan, and unfortunately, I am a Browns fan. So I know a lot about ugly seasons. I know about the hurt. I know about the hurt. I know how that goes.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always
Well, the
next
Cavs are
season.
surprising everybody this year, so we'll see where
They
that
are.
goes.
They look awesome. They're playing amazing. They're 4th seed going against the Knicks. So I'm very excited for them. I'm
Yeah,
I'm happy for them.
That'll be a good
For,
series.
making it to the playoffs. First season without LeBron, which is, something to say. He's been gone for a while now too.
Yeah. I don't know how you're that good. I couldn't believe it when I saw him play in first year in the NBA. You just can't get that good,
Yeah.
floor, see the floor, everything
That's
at
insane.
that age. I just
And he could have played tight end.
the physical talents can be there,
Yeah.
at 18. You can have the physical side of it, but to just have that play with the knowledge of a 30-year-old player at 18 was just crazy to me.
And the way, obviously he knows already that the way he left Cleveland the first time around was wrong, and then he admits that now.
Oh yeah.
But like the intelligence in for which he uses the whole floor, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a masterpiece, right? Like I mean, it's great. Like he likes to get in the other players involved, and it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, to win, you better. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not going to win if you don't have a team.
No.
So,
Not sport. Right.
John, thank you so much. I had
welcome,
an
man.
absolute blast. I'm gonna invite you again just so we can talk some more, because I've had
Yeah, it
such
feels
a
like
blast
we
doing this.
finished it, huh?
Huh?
Yeah. No, I'd love to talk to you again. That'd be great.
Let's do it again. And then where can people find you guys on social media?
Just Gold Panners. See, I think Twitter we're Real Gold Panners. I'm not much of a social media person, so I know they can hit us Instagram. Just Gold Panners has got to take you to any of our stuff. For
There
sure.
you go. And then you're gonna have somebody, an intern or somebody, run the social media.
Yep. There's Instagram. There's Facebook. There's Twitter.
I will make sure to put everything on the links like Twitter and all that, so that way people can follow you guys.
Yeah.
I will
go
put
to
the
goldpanners.com and jump to it from there too.
Exactly. And then they have the merch store, so they can buy some merchandise from you guys.
Merchandise, Midnight Sun Game tickets, all that stuff.
Love it. All right, thank you, my friend, and good luck to you guys in the season.
All right, thanks, Ed. Appreciate it. Great talking to you.
Anytime. I hope you guys enjoy that episode with John. Now, make sure you guys are following the team on all the socials, so that way you guys are always in the know of what is going on with the team. But my ask for you guys, Dad Hat Crew, is that if you want to support minor league baseball, if you enjoy the game, the sport, all of that, go visit the teams. Go to their website, buy their merchandise. That is how they make money. That is how they survive. So I'm asking you guys to go ahead, and even if it's just buying a hat, do that. Okay. I've bought my fair share of hats, and I will still be buying more. So thank you for that. Make sure that you guys are following the podcast. I am on Apple Podcasts. Listen, I'm everywhere. Okay, just wherever you listen to your podcast, just look for the Dad Hat Chronicles podcast. I greatly appreciate it if you also give it 5 stars, so that way I go up on the rankings. All right, so now that I got that part out of the way, okay, let's get into the joke of the episode, the dad joke of the episode, and here it is. What do you call an emotionally unstable animal who lives in Alaska and vacations in Antarctica? A bipolar bear. All right, I see myself out. And until then, guys, keep on grinding and always support the minor leagues. See ya.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, this is Ed Rivera of the Dad Hat Chronicles. Join me as I interview people just like you and players, coaches, GMs on the path that led you to become a fan of the sport.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean. And I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTomaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and in every episode I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at @PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
This is Patrick
and Corey
of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball. So get on the site and find a team near you today.
Learn more about Curved Brim Media at curvedbrimmedia.com.